Hey y'all, have you ever thought about why you want to be rich? Now I know we all want to be wealthy, and I want you to be wealthy certainly because I'm making this video series to help you get wealthy, which you can find the whole playlist through the card here or here because I can't remember which side that it actually appears on. I can literally never remember there. But why? Why do you want to be wealthy? We have this dream, but maybe it's because you want to take vacations and you want to live the life that you see other people living or faking on social media. Or maybe you want the financial independence that comes with having money. We all have our own reasons for wanting to be rich, and there's not really a bad reason unless you're objectively like, I want to get rich so I can control governments. We understand that's a reality. That's a terrible reason to want to get rich. Why do you want to get rich? Let me know in the comments below because I would love to hear your reason behind why you want to be rich. And I'm going to share in this video why you need a reason to want to be rich and why I personally want to be wealthy. Now, when I first started this whole journey for financial wealth and planning and management and all of that other stuff, the only reason I wanted to be rich, like straight up, the only reason I wanted to be rich was because I wanted to be able to go to your normal chain steakhouse restaurants like Outback or Longhorn, Texas Roadhouse, you name it, any of those. And I wanted to be able to order the porterhouse steak and then not feel bad about it. Now, if you don't know what a porterhouse is, it's amazing, but it's $35, and I would always feel guilty because I was like, that's the one I want, but I'm not gonna order it off the menu because I either don't have the money or I feel bad because maybe I'm not paying for the meal. And so what I really wanted was enough money so that I could always get the porterhouse steak and then never feel bad about it and not have to worry about anybody paying for it or anything like that. I wanted to be that level of wealthy. Now, ultimately, that is a dumb reason why, and I'll admit that because it was my reason, but it was what got me started on the path to wealth. So it was a good enough reason for me at that point. But as time went on, I realized a couple of things. I realized that I don't go out to eat enough for that to really be a reason why I want to be wealthy. And I have some actual goals for wealth that just using that as a why wasn't really going to help me achieve. So I had to figure out really what my whys were for why I wanted to be wealthy. But let's talk about why it's important that you have a reason why. Now, the reason this video is in the series at this point is because getting wealthy takes sacrifice and time. And I know that I'm going to give you the system that you need, but before we talk about budgets or getting out of debt or investing wisely for our future, we have to understand that in order to give up instant gratification, which we are prone to, we have to have a good enough reason for it. So if you understand that giving up the instant gratification will allow you to be much richer later on, then you might not need any more reason than that. But if you're like me, you need a reason to say, hey, that tech gadget's really cool, but you know what? I really don't need it because I'm trying for these bigger goals and these bigger goals are much more important to me. So you need a reason. And you need it to be big enough and important enough for you to be willing to continuously sacrifice over time. So that way you're not gonna just give up and stop building wealth along the way because you want things now. You need something that you're willing to sacrifice for. So if you don't have a why, if you don't have a reason why you want to be wealthy, I would encourage you strongly, get that reason. Figure out what it is, whether it's one reason, whether you think it's dumb or not. Remember, I started with a porterhouse steak fantasy. That's what I wanted. Just tons and tons of porterhouse steak. That's all I wanted. But these are my reasons. These aren't necessarily your reasons. And so even if my reasons are high and lofty and they're dreams that I may or may not ever attain, they're my reasons for wanting to build wealth. So reason number one, I want to give away $5 million. I don't know why I want to give away $5 million, but I want to give away $5 million. And the way that I want to do that, actually, unless our government fixes itself in America, which would be awesome, and then I'll just find a different way. But one of the ways that I would love to give away $5 million is to walk into like a graduation ceremony and just make an announcement, hey, all of your student debt. All of it. Paid off. Just like that. Done. Boom. Done. Here you go. I'm literally writing checks today. Let's get this done. You know, that's what I want to do. I want to be able to walk in and just be like, Oprah, and your debt is paid, and your debt is paid, and your debt is paid, and everybody's debt is paid. That's what I want to do. And that may be dumb, and it may be ridiculous, and maybe I'll never achieve it. But I want to do that. Along with that $5 million I want to do to pay off student debt, I also kind of want to buy people's medical debt, because America has a lot of problems, and I hope we can fix these issues. But what I would love to do is be able to just buy medical debt that people have defaulted on and then just cancel it. Just wipe it out. Because what's the point in acquiring tons and tons of money if you're not gonna do anything with it? And I wanna help people. So giving up the money that I've earned once I've taken care of my family and done what I've needed to do, that's only natural for me. That's the only natural progression that I'm allowed to do because of the way that I was raised and the way that I believe things work. So I want to give away $5 million, and I want to help people get out of debt as quickly as possible, and I'm willing to bleed money for them. And that may seem weird. I don't know, that may seem weird. Maybe I'm the only one that wants to get rich so they can help other people, but I see a lot of people have that sentiment and then not follow through on it, and I want to be the guy who follows through on it, which is why I'm putting it in this video, so that when I inevitably get rich and my YouTube channel does take off, you guys can hold me accountable to that. Because I'm not going to be Mr. Beast giving away $10,000 to streamers online. I'm going to be Sir Pinkbeard, walking in and canceling people's debt.
That's what... Because that's what heroes do.
Now, reason number 2 is very similar to reason number 1, and that is that I want to help people. I love Jesus, and this is a weird thing, because I don't think I've ever talked about this on a YouTube video, but I follow Jesus. I don't want to say that I'm a Christian, because that is getting a negative connotation in America, but I am a Christian. I follow Jesus, and what Jesus told rich people was, sell all you have and give to the poor. And the book of Proverbs tells us that the wise man remembers the rights of the poor. I have been blessed with so much that even if this YouTube channel never takes off, my career is good, my wife is amazing, I've been fortunate to be able to pay off my bills and come from a middle-class family. I was given wealth beyond what I could have hoped for already. And I want other people to experience that. So I want to help other people, which means that I want to be able to give money to people I see on the street when they're like begging for money, or they're out in the Minnesota cold trying to survive the winter. I want them to be okay. So if someone stops me on the street, I can just, hey man, here's 20 bucks. You know, it's not a lot, but it'll get you a meal. And I don't know, maybe that's wrong. Maybe that's misguided or naive, but Jesus was pretty clear in his message to go and meet people's needs and to help other people with some of his parables, like the parable of the Samaritan neighbor. And if I follow Jesus, then I have to live that way. So I want to live that way. And that's reason number 2, which I guess kind of ties into reason number 1, but I think it's different. So it's a second reason for me. And then reason number 3 is a little bit different. So climate change is happening, and governments aren't cracking down on corporations that are causing climate change, that have known about climate change and the harmful effects that they are having on the environment. Our governments are corrupted, and people are going to die. That's the truth. That's literally how the world is going to happen. It might not hit first world countries so much, but the third world countries, those are going to get hurt badly. And the communities that are poorer, especially in America, in the ghetto, they're gonna get hit worse because they don't have the resources that we'll have because we'll be rich. So I want to be rich because I can protect my family with my wealth. And let's be honest, almost everybody's thinking that. So I want to build family land so that I can provide for my family, for generations to come. And I want to build a house big enough so that I can foster children and become a father to the nations, but also so that my family and my descendants will have that land that they can look over, and that land will be built for climate change in mind. So the house will be a green house, and it'll be powered by solar and wind and heated by geothermal. And I can't prepare my family for doing that without the money that I need. And I also think that we have a terrible way of doing life in America. We leave our families and go long distances. And I think that's probably bad and detrimental in some cases. Now, in other cases, it's definitely good to leave your family behind, especially if they're abusive. But I miss my family and I miss my in-laws, and I don't want to end up in a situation like my parents where their parents were 15 plus hours away and you never got to see them, and the grandkids, myself and my brother, didn't really have a relationship. So I want to build family land where my in-laws and my parents and our children can live on and stay on, and we can have a nice, like, little community-ish of family that can work together and love on each other and provide for each other. And then I would love to extend that community out into our neighbors and help them, I don't know, prepare for climate change, because it's going to happen, and I'm just tired of waiting on other people. So I want to be prepared, and I want my family to be prepared. So those are my whys. Those are my whys. I want to help people, 2 of my whys, and I want to prepare and help my family and my descendants, those that I foster and adopt, and those that I create myself, I guess, and my wife, because I'm not gonna, like, mitosis a child, right? But I don't know. But those are my whys. Those are my whys. Now, here's the thing. I'm making this course. At the end of every video, I tell you to like and comment, but most importantly, to share it with friends and family. And I feel like this is the video to talk about why I do that. Because people with money have power. That's just true. We all think that rich people have more brains or wisdom than the poor people. Even though that's a flat out lie and it's a misjudgment, we all think that. And so because we think that, people with money have more power. But if I can help turn poor people into rich people, we can take that power back. I want that power back. Not for me, I have enough of it. But for you, think about it for a second. If I could help 1,000 people in a city become millionaires, that community now has $1 billion that they can spend to help themselves. If I help 10,000 people become millionaires, then that community has $10 billion to help themselves, to help their communities, to do what they need to do because governments have failed us. That's why. That's why I want people to be rich, because if they have money, then they can solve their own problems. They don't have to rely on other people to solve their own problems. And I know this is a small part of it, because it's hard to get rich when you're not being paid what you're owed, or there's systemic problems with acquiring wealth for certain communities. But I want to help poor people get rich, because I don't want my family to be the only one saved for climate change because an ancestor, me, prepared for them. I want your families and your family lines to continue on, whether you adopt kids or don't have children or just whatever. I want you to be prepared and to help your families be prepared. And I don't know. This video's taken a weird turn, I guess, but I'm so tired of seeing poor people stay poor for lack of knowledge. And I'm so tired of seeing people not do anything because they trust the government to do it, or they feel helpless because they don't have the money themselves. But if we all have part of the money and we all work together, we can solve the world's problems. We don't have to rely on people in power to do anything, because we, the people, have the real power. So if you guys like this video series and you want to get rich and you want to join me in my quest to help other people get rich, please share this video, share this series, help people get rich. So I want you to be rich. And I want others to be rich. Because we've got some problems, but together we can solve them.